What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to the Codex Station Comic Character of the Week. We do one character, give you that deep dive on that character, and give you everything you need to know. I'm your
Everything.
everything. I am your host tonight, Sal, this live guy. Joining me with me tonight is Dan the Kelly Art, the master of Instagram, the registered CDC artist himself. It is just us two tonight because Tim is out on some family stuff, doing some family stuff, and Gary is watching the games. He just can't peel himself away from it. So, how you doing, Dan? All right, that's
Uh,
a that's a good motivation, huh?
Not last Friday, but Friday before that. I don't know if I shared it with everyone that somebody rear-ended my car after I dropped my daughter off at school, and I
Yeah.
just got the message. Their insurance company called me today and left me a message said they're going to total my car.
Oh,
So now I have to go through no fault of my own. I have to go from having a car that is paid off to having a car payment again.
yeah, that sucks.
So I got to call the insurance company tomorrow, call them back tomorrow, because when I called them back today, they did not answer, did not return my message. So I have to call them back tomorrow and see how much I'm going to get and then deal with it from there.
Yeah.
So
Sorry, bud.
Yeah. So that sucks.
Yeah, that does suck. That does suck. Oh, all right, ladies and gentlemen, we are in the pre-show. Give us a few minutes here to get going. We are just we were all rolling in just the last second here. There we go. There we are. Pre-show Silver Surfer tonight. This should be a good show.
Well, I'm sure Gary's happy. Washington is up 7-0 on Philly.
Nice. That is good. That is good.
So yeah, so that was crappy to hear.
Yeah. I hope they give you enough blue book to at least put a good down payment on something.
Well, I'm gonna raise holy hell with him whenever I talk to him, because it's just the way it is. But
That's so true.
it just sucks. Like, when it's because it's not like the car I drove was a Chariot, but I just had work done on it. It was fine.
Mm-hmm.
It ran well, and it had many, 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 many more years ahead of it.
Yeah.
So, what's up, Booge?
Hey, Bougie. Thanks for joining us tonight.
Let's see what you did there.
Gonna be a show. Nice.
So,
nice.
Yeah. So, plus it's, fine. You get used to, you have your car and you get used to it. And then it's finding another one. Like now I got to get used to different controls or different this or different that. Or, this doesn't have the thing that I like that was on, that was in the one I had. So it's just.
Right.
Hello, Mr. Keith.
Hey, Mr. Keith. How you doing, buddy? Glad to have you on the show.
So I will be looking forward to going to that shop show on Sunday. Probably not buying much, but to just like
peruse. I think I'm gonna pass on the shop show. I actually had to pass on our shop run tomorrow. I forgot I am chaperoning a field trip with my daughter to the Natural History Museum downtown.
That's gonna suck.
I know. I got 3 kids I gotta be in charge of too. So we'll see if I can bring home all 3.
Bad.
Well, as long as I bring home mine, I'm okay.
Yeah.
Nah, it should be all right. It should be all right. I love the museums downtown. I love the air.
Oh no, I'm not just like having to be in charge of a bunch of kids there.
Yeah, I know. I only have to be in charge of 3 though. So
yeah, that's why I said that's not too bad.
Yeah. So yeah, if you want to do the shop, I don't know. You probably should just hit the shop on your own this week, and I'll catch up with you next week.
All right, we'll figure that out later.
All right, sounds good. All right, you ready to dive into this show?
Let's dive.
I should say slide in, huh? All right, here we go. Let's go start off with some groovy. What's that?
Surf into the show.
We're gonna surf right in, baby. Let's do it with some groovy bass tones.
That was a cool intro. I like how you had Galactus up in there in the corner.
Damn, kind of had him slip right in. What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to the Codex Station's Comic Character of the Week. We'll take one character, give you that deep dive on that character, all the must-read stories, the top covers, badass moments, so much more. I'm your host tonight, Silas Lab Guy. Joining me tonight is Dan the Kelly Art, the master of Instagram, the certified CGC registered artist himself. How you doing, buddy? Besides that all talked before earlier. Forget all that. Just tell me how you are.
Yeah.
You're surviving.
Yeah.
You're surviving. You're surviving.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh.
Yep. Gary is off tonight. He's watching the game.
Thank you, Booze. Yeah, sometimes you do get the short end, but what can you do?
Yep. That did happen to me once before. I had a car with one payment left on it, and it got totaled. Not to any fault of my own, but whatever. It happens. It does happen. All right, so yeah, Gary's off tonight because he is watching the game. Tim has got some family stuff going on, so it's just Dan and myself. And Dan, why don't you tell us about where people can find us?
Oh, yeah. Check us out online at thecodexstation.com. You can get links to all the socials on there. You can get some merch. You can meet the team members, see different shows. And yeah, it's, what is it? Jamie says your one-stop shop for everything Codex.
For everything Codex. Everything Codex. And where can they find you when you're not doing Codex stuff?
Yep, you can find me on Instagram at Dan Kelly Art.
Nice. And of course, you can always find me on YouTube under Sal's Comic Corner and Instagram when Dan allows it as the Slab Guy 77. All right, let's go ahead and dive right in and jump into this. Let's get the intro on this guy.
All right, well, he first appeared back in Fantastic Four issue 48 from March 1966, created by the legendary comic creating duo of Stan Lee and Jack Kirby.
Yep.
Silver Surfer's real name is Norrin Radd, was a scientist on his planet Zen-La when the World Eater Galactus came to destroy the planet. He offered himself up to be Galactus's herald to go and find other planets for him to consume as long as he agreed to spare Zen-La. So Galactus gave him a portion of his power called the Power Cosmic, and then he became the Silver Surfer. And then he spent years and years and years as Galactus's herald, finding planets for him until he came to Earth. And after encountering the Fantastic Four, he broke free and stood against Galactus to save the Earth, and then became the hero that we know as the Silver Surfer. Yes, hello indeed. From the United States, Mobius. Thank you for joining us.
Hey, Mobius, what's going on?
So what time is it? 4 o'clock for you right now, isn't it? I think the UK is 5 hours ahead of us.
They're ahead of us. It's like 2 o'clock.
So 4 o'clock for them now.
4 o'clock? Okay.
Yeah.
I don't think it's 2 o'clock, but okay.
No, 5 hours. That was 4.
Okay.
Yeah, so his powers are he has the Power Cosmic, so he's his body's encased in the the silver material that Galactus put him in, and he can fly with the surfboard. He's got super strength. He's got energy beams. He doesn't need to eat or breathe. The Power Cosmic. He has cosmic awareness. I mean, you name it, he's pretty much got it. 2 a.m. Okay.
So I thought.
Okay, yeah, 2 a.m. Never mind. I was thinking. Yeah,
you were going reverse.
Behind, 5 hours ahead. That's right.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for all right. Well, thank you for staying up into the wee hours of the morning with us.
Yes, indeed. Yeah, cool. So he's pretty much indestructible too when he's with the Power Cosmic as well, doesn't he? For nigh invulnerable, right?
Yes, just like the Tick.
All right, so let's go ahead and see what we like, what works best, and I'll go ahead and start this one. What I like or what works best for me Uh, there's two elements I really like. Um, all the outer space stuff was encountering different planets and aliens, really cool stuff because it's like almost like an open canvas to me. You can say or do anything, and and it's like, okay, well, this is how it is. It's not like you come to Earth and say, okay, well, we have this, we have to have this, we have to have this. You can pretty much have anything going on any planet in any type of situation. So it's almost like an open canvas to me, and I like that. But on the flip side, I do how he works with the Fantastic Four a lot. I really do, and I think that really grew the character as a whole for me, and I really like that part. What about you, Dan? What works best for you?
Yeah, it's okay when he's on Earth, as long as it's not for too long. But he works best when he's out there.
Hmm.
I feel like when he's out there in the universe, when he's out in the cosmos, um, exploring space, helping people. For the longest time, everyone in the galaxy knew him as the Herald of Galactus. So even years after what's going on there?
It just went red as usual.
Even,
It's Thursday night. No other night does my lights do this, but Thursday night
even it must be the ghost there.
must be.
But even years after he'd broken free from Galactus, he was, people would still fear him when he would show up, and he would have to, excuse me. And Karen's cool idea, but there's such a thing as being too powerful. Yeah, he borders on that at times.
He does.
Which is why I think that he works best when he's out in space, because he runs into all kinds of different new threats out there. You're not having to have him. Oh, now he's fighting the Hulk again. Now he's fighting Doctor Doom.
Right.
What's up, Richard? Thank you for joining us.
Yep. And let's face it, there's like really nothing, no weapon on Earth can really affect him too much, with the exception of whatever Doctor Doom or Reed Richards can come up with, that type of situation. So, but out in space, you can pretty much have anything, like type of situation.
While surfing Nick. Well, he wasn't drawn that way at first, for the longest time with the way Kirby drew him, when the way Buscema drew him, even the way that Byrne kind of drew him too. It was like he had trunks on that were just the exact same color as the rest of them. I don't remember who it was that was the first one to draw him, like where he was just all silver without the trunks.
I don't know. That's a good question.
But yeah, there's only so many people you could put him up against. That's right. Everybody should agree with me. There's only so many times you could have fight the Hulk or fight Doctor Doom or some of them. It's the issue you have with Superman for DC. Like, he's so powerful. Who do you have him go up against? Well, the Surfer being out in the galaxy, you could have him run into anyone. It doesn't even have to be a single entity. It can be a space fleet. It could be a planet. There's all the other cosmic Marvel entities out there too. So I think he works best that way, just exploring space, helping people, and and he can get philosophical at times too, with everything he's been through and everything he gave up and the reasons why, and the life that he lives now. So that's always an interesting aspect to the character as well.
Indeed. All right, let's go ahead and jump to our badass moments. And Dan, if you want to kick us off for that.
All right, there's this Mobius. His backstory is very interesting. I really like the dynamic between him and his master Galactus. At times he's subservient, but he will challenge Galactus when need be. Yeah, it's
absolutely.
And I know that when going forward we're going to get into the the relationship between him and Galactus. But yeah, badass moment. So I got 3. I'll throw an extra one out there. It was from Tales to Astonish. Give me a second. I think I have the. Oh no, I don't. I forget. I want to say it's Tales to Astonish. I want to say it's 93, where he fought the Hulk and just the Hulk. It was like nothing to him. He hit him with the surfboard, knocked him around. The Hulk, who beats everybody, was posed no real threat to him. But I'm also going to go all the way back to when he first started out. So in his second appearance, Fantastic Four 49 and in 50, when he's standing up to Galactus, he was Galactus's herald, and had done it for, like I said, years and years and years. And when he came to Earth, was convinced by Alicia Masters to that that the people of Earth deserved a chance to live, and it made him stand up to Galactus and say, no, you have to go somewhere else, and actually fought back, helped the Fantastic Four fight back against him to save Earth, which that's incredibly badass, because Galactus gave him all of his power, made him what he was, and spared his planet. And even with that, he was still willing to stand up to him, for a planet that he had only just arrived on. And then also going back to his origin, my second badass moment is from when they told his origin in Silver Surfer issue 1, where it shows his origin on Zen-La, and he was a scientist there. And when Galactus came, they didn't really have many weapons on the planet, so what they did have, they threw at Galactus. It didn't do anything, so he Galactus was gonna eat the planet, and the Silver Surfer, or Norrin Rad at that point, was the only one brave enough, willing to go up and stand up to him. So he goes up to his ship, and is trying to convince Galactus not to eat the planet, and he says, I don't have time to go find another one. Like, the hunger's upon me. I have to eat. I don't have time to go find something else unless I had a herald to go do it. And Norrin says, if you spare my planet, I'll be your herald. And Galactus says, do you know what you're giving up? This is going to be forever. And he goes, yes. So he was willing to give up his life as he knew it and leave all his loved ones behind and his life behind to save his planet and go and spend, the rest of his life serving Galactus. So, that kind of like noble sacrifice is pretty badass.
Yeah, that is true. That is true.
And then the last one I have is from Guardians of the Galaxy issue 25. This is the original Guardians of the Galaxy one, the real Guardians of the Galaxy, which takes place in the future. And in the future, the Silver Surfer is also the protector of the universe. So he has his power, and he also has the quantum bands of Quasar. And it shows at one point that he had stood up and fought Galactus, thinking, well, I've got my power cosmic, and I've got the quantum bands. I can beat him. Galactus handled him, took away the power he had given him. Yeah, it's a cool origin for him.
Yeah.
And eventually he recovered, and he teamed up with the Guardians, and they were fighting Galactus. And when he was low on some power, the Surfer beat him, but instead of killing him, he used his power cosmic and the quantum bands, and basically ended Galactus's hunger. Not permanently, but at the moment, satiated his hunger using his energy, and was willing to then travel, spend his time traveling the galaxy with him again, but instead of finding plans for him, would use his power to satiate Galactus's hunger, so that he could save all these other planets. So even, thousands of years in the future, and he's still, he's now the guardian of the universe, and he's still protecting everyone from Galactus.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. That was one of my badass moments. Do you have another one that you want to throw in there?
I mean, there's other ones, there's other ones that I don't know, that I don't remember the issue numbers on. Like, there's the one when he fought Galactus's, one of his at the time his newest herald, Morg, and essentially their battle was so epic that the planet they were on, this uninhabited planet, was destroyed. Shows you how much power he has. There's when he had too much power built up in him, and he had to release it all, and this uninhabited planet that was near him, the power that he released then kickstarted their evolution, and
Mm-hmm.
and kicked it into high gear where it went through like thousands of years of evolution, like that.
Yeah,
But
yep.
just
Mm-hmm.
because so he essentially created life on a planet
Mm-hmm.
just from his power, like showing like he's not a superhero, like he's a step below a god at this point,
Right.
with the amount of power and experience that he has.
Right. Right. All right. So I also had that Guardians of the Galaxy number 25. One of the other badass moments I have was from, I can't remember the issue and I didn't write it down, but the Surfer renders a Hulk unconscious just by, giving him a smack like that. But he could also drain the Hulk's gamma radiation,
Yeah.
basically reducing him to Banner, and I guess neutralizing him. Another badass moment. It's a badass panel, and I got it uploaded. And I'll show it to you here. This is from Silver Surfer 50, but he like bruises his board.
Oh yeah.
Crash through the. Looks like a solidified Thanos. But
Yes.
that's just awesome. You know.
There was also I just had it. It just slipped out of my head.
Oh. What else? We got something else?
Yeah, it was. I had it and
and lost it.
I had it. I had it and I lost it. Yeah, man. I don't remember. I forget now.
He did. He did wield Mjolnir. I forgot which series that was. I was trying to read a lot of Silver Surfer, and I started blurring the stuff together too fast because I was busy this week and I couldn't read as much as I wanted to.
Oh, he beat Mephisto. That was.
Oh yeah, he beats the crap out of Mephisto. Yeah,
because
how can we forget that?
Because he was so good and he was so noble that Mephisto wasn't able to do anything to him. And in fact, there was an issue of What If Volume 2, and I forget it, but I have it back here, where I think it was like What If Mephisto beat him, and it was when he was trapped on Earth, and he was with the Fantastic Four, that he kind of let Mephisto beat him, and the issue ends with him going down into hell, and Mephisto was like, "Yeah, I won." He's like, "Yeah, you won. I'm here with you now." But then he's just like radiating all this light from all of the the nobility and the goodness in him. And Mephisto's like, "Oh my God, it hurts! Stop!" And he's like, "Nope, you won. I'm here with you for eternity."
Yeah,
and,
that's what you wanted.
Yeah.
So I got another panel with that with him wielding the Mjolnir, which is pretty awesome. Hold on, let me load that up really quick. There it is.
Right. He said, Mobius said he took his name from the greatest Silver Surfer comic book artist of all time, Jean Giraud. Apologies if I mispronounced that. Mobius.
Yeah.
He did the book Parable with Stan Lee.
Yep.
In 1988, and
that's right.
Yeah.
Yep. That's true.
Yeah, he was a real good artist.
Yes. So yeah, there's the other badass moment I had for him lifting Mjolnir. It's nice.
That was from. Oh, I know what that's from. Was that from the Thanos book that Donny Cates wrote?
I think it is. Like I said, I was going through so much stuff this week. At like high speed.
I'm pretty sure that's the Thanos book that Cates wrote, and it's the one where the old Thanos brings the young Thanos into the future, and he's like beating all the heroes, and he's got the Hulk pretty much as his pet dog.
Yeah.
And the Surfer shows up and just unleashes hell on him.
Right.
I forget the issue number, but yeah, the Thanos that Donny Cates did.
Okay. All right. So let's go ahead and jump to critiques and criticisms and what we don't like. You want me to kick this one off? I don't have much. Yeah. I actually don't have much. I think he can be too overpowered at times, especially when he's on the Earth setting, because quite literally there's probably nothing that could beat him on the Earth. But when he's in outer space, you could offset that by new threats and making up stuff that will actually hurt him. So yeah, he can be overpowered at times. I kind of felt in the beginning when I was reading him, he's just the Herald. He's going from planet to planet to planet. It seems like you know, almost like a one-trick horse for me. And but on reading that, it was a lot more in depth. So I can't really say that as 100%. You know, so I mean, he's a very interesting character. I think he's drawn very well. I like the full body silver as opposed to the little pants, type situation. So I think the only problem I really have is he could be too overpowered in certain situations. What about you?
Yeah, I don't like when they keep him on Earth too long. He does
Yeah.
have a lot of friendships and he does have a lot of personal ties on Earth. So it's
Hmm.
not that he should never be there. Um,
Right.
just don't keep him there. In his original series, he was on Earth a lot. When he was trapped there. But once he got free, like okay, he's free. Let him come back and visit here and there. But really, Earth is not his home. It's not his place. His place is out in the stars.
Right.
So, keep him out there. And then, as far as being overpowered, it's almost like his power is somewhat inconsistent with the other Heralds of Galactus because he's had a lot
Right.
of different Heralds.
Oh yeah, he
And
has.
the
Yep.
Surfer is, always shown to be this mega powerful one, whereas some of the like all of the Heralds of Galactus are powerful, but none of them seem to have that power level of the Surfer. So I don't know if that was, hey, he's the number one guy that's got his own book, so plot armor, or if it's I don't remember ever reading an in-story thing, or if I did, I have forgotten about it. Like maybe Galactus powered up his heralds, like didn't give him as much power.
That would be logical.
Yeah,
Maybe.
but
Oh, I
but
just
yeah.
remembered another badass moment. Sorry, I just remembered another badass moment. He fought Redshift in a black hole.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that was awesome. That was awesome. All right, Sono. Hey, Sonny, what's going on?
You should dress up as the Silver Surfer next Halloween. You just have to shave your head and shave your beard, put on the little trunks, paint yourself from head to toe in silver paint, and carry a surfboard around with you all night.
There you go. Add some special effects like whoosh, if you have to.
Yeah.
Being a lone
Yeah.
character is great, but he can be stronger supporting or Fortress of Solitude, essentially. Yeah, I agree. I'm sorry. So continue on, Dan. What else did you
No,
not like?
I was gonna say he does. It's not that he has a constant supporting cast. I think it's almost better that he doesn't. Like they're,
Yeah.
In the volume 2 of his series, like when they brought Jack of Hearts back, and him and Jack of Hearts were, Jack of Hearts was in the book form for about a year or so, give or take, and then it was kind of off. Or he'll team up with Nova, the female Nova, Frankie Ray, that was a Herald of Galactus.
Yep.
And then she'll be there for a while, then go like it's all, So yeah, he doesn't have a constant supporting cast, but he's got a huge stable of them, and they'll just come in and out. And I think that that can make it interesting too, because you're not going to get any staleness in any of the relationships.
Right. Right. That's very true. All right, so we want to jump to top covers. We could show the top covers for the guys that are not here tonight. Where is it? That's recommended readings. There we go. Top cover, Gary. Top cover for Gary. So you went with Greenlander Silver Surfer, which is awesome. Of course, you went with that Thor and Silver Surfer number 4. That's a great cover.
Yeah.
And Fantastic Four number 12. Yep, that is cool. You
no,
got
that's
the Watcher in the background.
That's 72.
Oh, 72. I'm sorry. You're right.
It'd be pretty hard for him to appear on the cover to 12 when he didn't appear in a book, when he didn't have his first appearance until Hulk 180.
Hulk 180, of course. That's true.
No, that
it looked like 12 to me when I glanced at it.
No, that 72 is a great cover. That was real close to making my list. That out of the top 3, that was my number 4. That was originally in my top 3 until I had one edge it out at the last minute.
Right. All right, let's go ahead and take a look at Tim's top covers. Boom. Oh, there you go. What a Silver Surfer possessed the Infinity Gauntlets. Nice. Silver Surfer Requiem. Yep.
Yeah. I've got.
So who did the artwork on that Requiem? I forgot.
It was Assad Ribic.
I
don't know if I'm saying the name right, but yeah.
Okay.
That was a cool series. Yeah, and that What If was a was a good one too.
Yep, indeed. And of course, you went with the classic Silver Surfer 4. That's
I have
classic.
all of those issues. Well, I don't have the original of the Silver Surfer 4. In the rack behind me, I've got the Fantasy Masterpieces.
Yeah.
When they did it, but
okay.
Yeah.
All right, Dan. Here comes your covers.
What a surprise! Silver Surfer number 4. I mean, look, when we did the Thor episode, I picked this as one of my covers.
Yep.
I said at the time, whenever we get around to doing Silver Surfer, it's going to be
it's going to be on the list.
One of my covers for that. I mean, when we do an episode on the Rainbow Bridge, it'll be a cover like this. This to me, I mean, this is just a classic, classic comic cover. Yeah, it's iconic. It's to me, it's one of the greatest comic covers that's ever been done. It's just, it's so great. I mean, it's just great. There's nothing else you can say about it. It's such an amazing cover. The middle one is the one that edged out the Fantastic Four 72. It's the Silver Surfer number 1. It was a one shot.
Yep.
It was written by Stan Lee and it was drawn by John Byrne. And I like, it's not an action shot. He's just kind of standing there, but I like the detail on him. And I like the way that all the space is drawn behind him. The logo where, the logo's looking like it's silver.
Right.
I like that. It's just, a really good epic pose.
I like that cover. I almost chose that cover. I think that was my number 4 that I dropped off the list.
Yeah, it's really good. And it looks a lot like how Byrne would draw. Used to draw Vision too, when Vision was in the white, in the white body. Yeah. And then the last one I got is,
Silver Surfer 50.
Yeah. You're right, Richard. You can't go wrong with any of these covers. They're
so true.
Yes, Richard is right. You did have me do the homage to that, and that reminds me I have to call CGC again because I still have not gotten the book back or gotten any idea from them where it's at.
God, I think they would have sent it back by now.
Yeah, but yeah. Anyways, and the last one, number 50, that is, it's a great cover. Now this is the second printing that's on here. The first printing doesn't have the black detail on his body, and on the 50th anniversary issue, around the 50 in the issue, it doesn't have it around the and I'll hold it up when we get off of here. Around the logo at the top, or any of the letterbox. And you can see in the bottom corner, it even says second printing. That was added to the second printing, but the first printing was hard to get a picture of because all that stuff is in silver, and
embossed too, or something like that, right?
Yeah, it's embossed and it's in silver, and this is actually, for anyone who doesn't know, this is the first foil cover in comic book history. Was this?
Yeah.
So that was one thing that kind of helped push it over the edge for me too, other than the fact it's a badass cover to begin with, and then the fact that it was also the first foil cover like that, and the fact that it just fit with the character, the silver just makes it one of my top covers.
So do you have that cover? I could pull yours off here. Do you have that cover?
Yeah.
Hold on, let me make you the big picture. Boom. And there you go.
Yeah. So as you can see, it's all silver here and here in this, and the first printing doesn't have the black detail on his body. It's just like he says, it's embossed, and then it's all silver. So it's a fantastic issue, and and being the first is something. It's not a book. If you wanted to get a copy, you pick it up for a couple bucks. It's not an expensive book.
Yep. Mr. Keith, good point there.
It's
a very slick design, yet so simple. True, Booze, true. All right, here we go with mine. Let me just kind of put us back to normal here. There we go. And then I'll bring up my covers.
And like Richard said, first printing is orange on the top corner, and then in the corner box, it doesn't have the little surfer saying second printing.
Yep. All right, so here we go with Silver Surfer number one. I believe this was volume 4, if I remember right. Hold on, let me read my notes. Nope, apologies. This is away from the planet. So this is actually volume 1, number. My notes are screwed up. This is volume 5, 1A, I believe. Nope. Apologies again. One more time. Volume 6, number 1. Yes, that's what it is.
Get
So
your act together, Salvador.
I know. My notes are all screwed up. My notes are all screwed up. All new beginning. Yep. Volume 6, number 1. Love the way the perspective is with him sliding on the board, and you got Galactus, and it looks like the High Evolutionary in the background there, and of course the planet down below. Just pretty awesome. Of course, Silver Surfer number 16, the battle with Mephisto. That's just an iconic cover as well. Can't go wrong with that. Then the far right one is Silver Surfer, also number 1, but this was from volume
Volume
5.
3. Nope,
and this
volume 3.
Volume 3.
Volume
Apologies
3.
again. My notes are all screwed up. And yep, volume 3. I have that over here in my other side notes. But yep, I love that how he's like racing, almost like he's racing away from the red planet. The look on his face is pretty intense. But I like the way he's drawn here as well. It's pretty wicked. Love it.
Yeah, that's a great Joe Jusko cover.
Richard, come on, man. You're killing me, buddy. You're killing me.
I know the middle one's Buscema. I'm not sure who the one on the. I'm not sure who the one on the end is.
So the cover artist is Carlo. I'm gonna mess this up. Pagulon.
Yeah.
There's a colorist of Fabio Diora, and the inker was Danny Miki.
All right. Well, I've heard of him.
Okay.
I and all of your ancestors are disappointed that you could not pronounce that Italian name.
Sorry. Come on, you got to cut me a break. It's been a rough. It's been a rough week for me. Not as rough as yours.
Yeah.
But still, rough week. Like I said, I was trying to really plow through these stories because I had so many to choose from.
Yeah, it was really tough for me to narrow it down.
Yeah. All right. Well, speaking of essential readings, let's go ahead and kick those off, and we'll start off with Gary's. Here's what Gary recommends: Fantastic Four 48 to 50, Silver Surfer Parable, and of course Silver Surfer Requiem.
And Parable, that's the one that was mentioned earlier that Stan Lee wrote that Mobius did the artwork for.
Right. All right.
Requiem, is that the one?
That was one that Gary had the cover for, I believe.
Yes. Okay. Yeah. That was that was a really good
No, actually not. That was Tim's let me see if I can find it was Tim's covers. There, that center one.
Yes. Yeah, that was a cool series.
Yep. All right, so let's jump to Tim's here. Hold on a second. Here's Tim's recommended readings. He's also recommends volume 3 of Silver Surfer 44 to 50, Silver Surfer Requiem, of course. And he put down Silver Surfer 1 and 2, the Epic Comics. What was that? I never saw anything that said Epic Comics. Do you know anything about that?
I do not know.
Okay.
Yeah,
Richard.
Give me a second, and I'll.
All right. Well, I'll jump to my readings while you're looking that up. How's that sound?
Okay.
There we go. So I also chose Fantastic Four 48 to 50. I did the Silver Surfer Warlock Resurrection, and I also chose the Cosmic Powers Unlimited numbers 1 through 5. I think that's the whole series, if I remember right. But yeah, the Warlock series that shows the resurrection of what was her name? Shalabal. And then of course 48 to I'm sorry, the Cosmic Powers Unlimited. You got several different action things going on in each issue. Like the first one, he was fighting Thanos. The second one, he's fighting the Cosmic Enclave, and Jack of Hearts slugs it out with the strangest darker half, Jakar. And another issue, he teams up with Quasar, Beta Ray Bill, Zenith, and Captain Morphox. and they head to a Planet Tune to bring in Lord Volton for the murders of some Charter's delegates in the Master Race story. So that was pretty cool. All right, Dan, you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready. So I looked it up. The Epic, for Epic Comics, it looked like
this one we're talking about here on the bottom.
Yeah, it looked like only thing I can think of is that from looking it up is that there's the Epic collections for Silver Surfer. So maybe he means the first two, but I couldn't find anything that Epic.
Yeah, I never saw anything with Epic Comics.
I mean, Epic was an imprint of Marvel,
right?
So they might have done something. I just don't know. We'll have to ask him next time we talk to him.
Yep. All right, so here's your recommended readings. Yeah, Richard, it was all about Infinity Gauntlet. Good stuff.
Yeah, 34. Yeah, that was. Well, it's funny because originally when Starlin was doing that, Infinity Gauntlet wasn't going to be a separate miniseries. He had been writing, since he had created Thanos back when he did Iron Man, and he brought him back in Silver Surfer. He brought him back, and then he did the little 2-issue Thanos miniseries. And Infinity Gauntlet, like that was just going to be the next storyline in Silver Surfer because all that stuff with Thanos and that had been leading up to that. And then Marvel looked at it and said, this is too big a story just to be in Silver Surfer. And they made it, its own miniseries, which, good on them because think about how different things would have been if it had just been a Silver Surfer story. Like, yeah, it would have been a great Silver Surfer story, but, the impact it had for Marvel with all of the, Infinity Gauntlet, Infinity Crusade, and, Infinity Home Delivery, whatever, all the stupid ones that they did. And, and then the effect it had on the MCU too could have been a lot different, if it had just been a story arc in Silver Surfer.
Right. Very true. All right, well, here's your
readings. So, Fantastic Four 48 through 50. We've talked about a lot. The other guys picked it too. It's the introduction of Silver Surfer, the introduction of Galactus, and it's just such a great story by Stan Lee and Jack Kirby.
Yeah.
It's just such a great read. Introduces these big characters, these big concepts, and that's where you want to start. The next one I have is Silver Surfer Volume 1. I put the whole Volume 1 on there. It only ran like 18 issues. So
that's not too bad.
Yeah, it's not like you're having to read, 120 issue run. But, it's got some epic stuff. It's got the retelling, of his origin. It's got, him fighting, that epic fight with Thor that was on the cover there. The stuff with Mephisto, it introduces Mephisto. It's just, it's written by Stan Lee. Buscema did the art. It's just it's just a fantastic series to really give you a good glimpse of the character. Right. And then Silver Surfer Volume 2. I had to pick something from Volume 2 to put in here because that was the book that was coming out when I was a kid, and I loved the Silver Surfer. I bought it every month, and I knew I had to have something in there, so I picked issues 70 to 75, which is the Herald's Ordeal.
Yeah. I like that one. I read that too.
Yeah. So it's Galactus has gone through many heralds, and his current herald is this guy called Morg, who is just a complete psychopath and bad guy.
Shows know how to pick him.
Huh? Yeah. And and so the Surfer goes and collects all of Galactus's former heralds. It gets Nova, he gets Fire Lord, he gets Terrax, they resurrect Airwalker, and they get all of them together so they can fight Morg because they're like, you can't use this guy. This guy is just, he's an animal. He's a monster. So it's a cool story. showing all the different heralds and them going up against the current one and going up against Galactus. Really, I mean, for volume 2, if I was really, really picking it, I would have just said read everything that was written by Jim Starlin and Mars and drawn by Ron Lim. But that's like 50 or 60 issues. But all of it really is worth reading. You got all the build, the Return of Thanos, all the build up to Infinity Gauntlet. You've got, the Jack of Hearts stuff I mentioned earlier. You've got Adam Warlock stuff in there. You've got the Herald's Ordeal stuff here. Like there's just so much good stuff in that run. But if you got to narrow it down, the Herald's Ordeal.
Okay. Very cool. Very cool. Booge actually says, the comics Cosmic Powers Unlimited. Don't think he's read that, but it's a pretty interesting name. It looked at exactly. The title pulled me in. That's one of the stories I really read and liked it. So definitely check it out. Every comic in Volume 1 is excellent. Yeah, it's true. Every cover is amazing. Thank you, Richard. Appreciate that.
Hey, what's up, Kev?
Archduke himself. Thank you very much for joining.
Welcome.
So it's totally rad. See what you did there. All right, so our next segment is Best Writer and Artist. So who do you have? Because it sounds like you have like a...
I'll let you go first on this one.
Okay, so for Best Artist, I went with John Buscema. There was a lot that I liked in there, but I think John Buscema is the one that really sticks with me. When I think of Silver Surfer, I picture his type of drawing of him.
Okay.
For Best Writer, I had unfortunately a lot to choose from. And I think I went with J.M. DeMatteis. That's Mateus. Sorry, I thought it was DeMatteis. So I went
the interview with him, which you can find on the Codex Station on the YouTube channel.
Absolutely.
Look under playlists and look.
I also had Steve Englehart too. You know, but I went with J.M. As my main guy. So what you? Who did you have?
Just saying what Richard said, Jim Starlin is my favorite. Offer it on the table if you want some books signed by Ron Lim.
Yes.
I will. And woo from Kevin.
Kevin.
Yeah, I am probably going to take you up on that because I've got a lot of Ron Lim books. Not just Surfer 2, the Infinity Gauntlet stuff and Captain America and and a lot of other stuff that he did. So obviously, with that being said, Ron Lim is my pick for artist.
There you go. That's a good choice.
Mobius was great. Kirby, you could tell really liked the character since he created him.
Yeah.
Buscema's stuff was amazing, but Ribic stuff in Requiem was really good too.
Yep.
But and then some of the painted stuff that like Joe Jusko did on that one cover you showed was really good.
Yep.
And, what was the one I meant? I meant to have it here with me to show off my copy of the Silver Surfer NES game. But
hold on. I got it for you. Where is it? Dan's bonus cover. There we are. Dan's bonus cover.
Yes. So I almost picked this. This is the cover for anyone that has it. This was the cover for the and I know they've used it for other stuff too. But it was the cover for the Silver Surfer NES video game, which was a cool game too. I played the hell out of that. But God damn, look at that. Isn't that gorgeous?
That is awesome. Awesome.
Yep, you're right, Boosh. Alred did do a Silver Surfer book. I want to say it was volume 5, though I could be mistaken on that. But anyways, that being said, all those artists, I got to go with Ron Lim. He, to me, is the definitive Silver Surfer artist. He was the artist on it when I was reading it growing up. And, and all this epic stuff, the Infinity Gauntlet stuff, all the stuff with the different heralds, he was the artist on it. He didn't draw the beginning of Infinity Gauntlet. He only drew the last 2 issues because Perez drew the first 4. But even Perez, when he did it, he's like, I shouldn't be drawing this. Ron Lim should.
Yeah.
Which is why Lim was the one to finish the series. But you're right, Maurice. That's just a gorgeous cover. Yeah, it would be a cool tattoo, but I imagine it would be quite an expensive tattoo.
Yeah, with all that color. Yeah, that'd be pretty.
Richard, what are you talking about? That game was so much. I had so much fun playing that game. I had a blast playing it. But I'm also looking at it, through rose tinted glasses. If I were to sit down and play it now, who knows? I might look at it differently. But at the time, as a kid, I liked playing it. But yeah, anyways. So all that said, Ron Lim, my pick. Like whenever I think of Silver Surfer, that's who I think of, and he did a great job of drawing him in a way that, as great as Buscema and as great as Kirby and some of these other artists were. Yeah, I will give you that, Richard. That game was impossibly hard to beat.
Did you though? Did you?
No.
Didn't beat it? Okay.
No, of course not. He's right. Everything killed you. But
I never played it.
It was still fun. Honestly, when I was a kid playing video games, I didn't really care that much if I like won or beat the whole game. I just wanted to have fun playing it. So, but yeah, I like the way that Lim drew him too, and like had that like metallic sheen to the way that he drew him, so he looked like he was silver, not that he was just white.
Yeah. Okay. Very cool. Very cool.
That's the aggravating. I'll have to check that out. Yeah, because I remember I used to play for comic video games for Nintendo. I used to play Silver Surfer and I used to play Wolverine.
Very good.
Well, thank you for joining us, Talking Geek. You're right. Great visual character.
Indeed.
And for writer, who was it you picked?
I went with the Mattis. DeMatteis. Sorry.
The only reason I know how to say it right is because he told me.
I know, that's fine.
I always pronounce it DeMatteis as well, and I was like, oh, good thing I asked. Yeah. It is hard to pick a writer for him, man. There's been so many good ones, like like Stan Lee, with in the Fantastic Four, and the Volume 1 was great.
I also had Englehart as my backup on that.
Yeah,
too.
Englehart was good. I think for me, I'm going to have to also choose two. I'm going to go with Jim Starlin and Ron Mars.
Oh, okay.
Who both had good runs on Silver Surfer Volume 2, because you can't beat Jim Starlin when it comes to cosmic stuff. And
I'll give you that.
He nailed it with Silver Surfer, and Infinity Gauntlet. I mean, that's just. It's just such an epic storyline that led into so much other stuff. And then Ron Mars took over for him on Volume 2 and just had so much great stuff. So I'm going to go with them because those are the ones that were doing the book when I was reading it growing up.
All right. Very good. And now my older dog has decided to join us. Are you coming in or not? All right, here we go.
Yeah, I'm with you, Booge. Like, I like playing video games, though I'll be the first to admit I'm not like, any kind of video game master. But again, like, I'm not, generally just like, you know what? I've come to terms with the fact that I'm not. So I'm like, as long as I have fun, and I don't get frustrated, I'm not going to be mad if I don't beat the game.
Okay. Very good. All right. Wow, we've gone through all the segments on this for this show. Do we have anything else we want to add? Let me see. Booge says Starlin knows a thing or two about space epics. Yeah, that is true. Got to agree with that.
Yeah, it's too bad movie making technology wasn't advanced now or in the past like it was then, because Yul Brynner would have made a great Silver Surfer.
True. I can see that. All right, so I guess if we have nothing else to add, we can go ahead and wrap this one up. Thank you guys for joining us in the chat. Really appreciate that. I'm your host, Sal the Slab Guy. Joining me as always is right over here, Dan the Man Kelly from Instagram. Once again, we are from the Codex Station. You can always find us at thecodexstation.com. Or where else could they find us, Dan? If they do something, they can do something. Find us out.
No, how game is cheating. My buddy does that.
Yeah.
Well, real quick, I gotta say, okay. Yes, the Silver Surfer will
Yes.
be in the new Fantastic movie, but he will be a she.
Yep.
And I forget the name of the actress that's playing him, but it's the actress from the show Ozark that played Ruth. So if you watch Ozark, the actress that played Ruth on there is who is playing the Silver Surfer.
But
They
she's
haven't
not.
said yet.
But she's not Nolan Rad. She's going to be Shalabal, right?
I don't think they've even announced that. They just said
Oh.
she's playing Silver Surfer.
Okay. All right.
So
Maybe that's just a rumor I heard.
yeah, who wouldn't want the power cosmic? I would. I'd use it to fix my damn car.
There you go.
Yes, by Dan Kelly art.
There you go. There you go.
180.
Hulk 180, of course.
Holes.
Yep. And of course, you want to go find Dan. Beast is not an Avenger. He's not an Avenger. Come on, man. You're killing me. Thanks, Mobius. Really appreciate that.
Yeah, so if you watch Ozark, the actress that played Ruth, that's who they cast. I like her as an actress. Not really digging the concept of her as Silver Surfer, but whatever. We've yet to get a good Silver Surfer, or yet to get a good Fantastic Four movie. So
anything is game right now.
Yeah. All right.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. Before we can sign off here, let's got to give a shout out to Dan Kelly. Go over to Dan Kelly Art, buy some of the stuff like Richard did, then head over to the Kodak Station. Check that out. Get some merch. Meet the team, and so much more. So much more. You can always find me on Sal's Comic Corner on YouTube and also Instagram as SliveGuy77. And where else can you find us? You can always find us on Comic Character of the Day. Archduke Kevy made an appearance tonight. Head on over there. Chat more about Silver Surfer if you wanted to, and a lot more.
Yep, we got the character of the day that Kevin puts up, the cover of the day that Gary puts up, the question of the day that I put up, as well as the random panel of the day, which sometimes is a little funny, sometimes a little bit spicy, sometimes a little bit of the ultra violence. You've got to see what you're going to get on any given day.
That's right. That's right. All right, ladies and gentlemen, tune into next week. Well, first of all, tune into a Saturday night for Comics Unleashed, late night, 11 p.m. Eastern. Next week on Comic Character of the Day, we're going to be covering Guy Gardner. So check us out. And once again, I hope you guys have a 9.8 day.
Bye.
I was waiting for that.